Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to another random game of the day, and today we are playing Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Definitely one of my favorite NES games, although a lot of people really think that this game is really bizarre, and since it's so different from the first Legend of Zelda and pretty much any other Legend of Zelda game out there except for the always awesome CDI games, people tend to not be a super big fan of this game, and I can understand why. I mean, it's a lot different. And of course, if you're not really into platforming games and you're more interested in like Zelda's traditional kind of style of gameplay, you might not like this game a super massive amount. But I am really into platformers and adventures, so this game fits really well for me. After Ganon was destroyed, Impa told Link a sleeping spell was cast on Princess Zelda. She will wake only when the power of number 3 Triforce seal in the palace in Hyrule. Break the seal crystals must be placed in the palaces. Link set out on his most adventuresome quest yet, so it's not like it's his greatest quest yet, but it has more adventure than the first game, apparently, so I guess it's supposed to be better. I have no idea, but anyway, enough of looking at this amazing title screen. Let's go to the file select screen here, and it looks like your typical Zelda and Star Tropics file select screen. I got this game used, of course, like the cartridge I'm playing on right now, so there were some files on it. I thought it was funny, so I left Rudy there, because apparently Rudy died 255 times, and it actually maxed out, so I thought that was funny. And Nadia L I left just because, why not? So I erased the third file, which I guess was completely not important at all, and I died 20 times throughout beating the game, and you can see there's kind of that little Triforce beside Link there, which indicates that I've beat the game, and I'm actually on the second quest now. Although, to be fair, out of those 20 times that, I don't remember if it's 20 deaths or 20 game overs, because as you can see, you get 2 lives. Well, I mean, you get a 0, so you technically get 3 lives. I don't remember if it counts each one of those deaths, or if it only or if the 20 just means game overs. And some of those are probably because I had no idea how to save. And I originally thought the only way to save was to get game overs. I mean, that's kind of silly. Although then, quite a bit later, I find out that if you pause the game on player 1's controller, and then you take player 2's controller and you press up and A, it brings you to this screen. And I mean, that's super cryptic, A, and B, if you don't have a second controller, you're screwed. So that's kind of a stupid way to make the save screen come up. So then you think, okay, so you know, my friend, he's just playing around, he was holding the second player controller for some reason. So all I have to now is press start on player 1 controller and I can continue, right? No, it takes you back all the way to here, no matter where you are in the game when that happens. So, you know, you're gonna be, I'm just about to get to this boss I want to fight, and then your friend pulls that trick on you. And then you're pretty much playing through the whole thing again for absolutely no reason. So overall, that whole save system is really stupid. But this video is not about ranting about the save system. We're supposed to be playing some Zelda 2. And as you can see, the second quest keeps all of your levels at the top there. And you also keep all of the spells that you have found, although all of your items like the candle and the hammer and stuff at the bottom are gone. So I figured we could just have some fun seeing how much we can destroy everything with our overpoweredness in the second quest. I beat this game quite a few years ago. I was just playing through it again for fun. Although once I got to the second quest, I was kind of tired of it, so I didn't really play through any of it. So I guess that's why we are here today. Zelda 2, of course, so it has the weird platforming left and right kind of style of battle. Although the overworld is pretty much your typical Zelda overworld, where it's an overhead view. And you have to do stuff there. There will be items along the way, which will give you experience, as well as defeating enemies gives you experience. And since this is the second quest, I already have the downward and upward slash, which is awesome because these are so useful for defeating enemies. It's absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, all of our heart containers and magic containers that we had in the last quest are gone. So we are left to find all of those again. Depending on where you are standing when an enemy on the overworld hits you, it will determine kind of what the battlefield is like. If you get into a battle on kind of this orange-yellow path here, absolutely nothing will happen. It'll just be an empty area that you can easily move to the left or right to get out of. Although, say you find get a battle on the sand here, and there'll usually be these crazy things sticking up, and fireballs coming out of absolute nowhere. Let's say, oh, I forgot I could kill those guys. Anyway, we have a cave up here, and we were supposed to come here later after we have the candle, but forget that. Who actually follows those crazy rules? I cannot believe I actually just hit you. If you look carefully here, you can actually kind of see where enemies are. Like, if you look a bit to the left there, you can see, like, if you look at the ground, it's kind of moving a little bit. I don't know how well that will turn up on camera. But we can jump on you, and I did not expect you to be in midair, so it kind of threw off my jump. Anyway, we have 2 lives left. This is one of those weird Zelda, like, one of those weird cases where Zelda games, you actually have health, or not health, you actually have lives in the Zelda game. Because usually it's game over, go back to start, but not in this one. You pretty much have 3 lives, and you can get extra ones at times. And as long as you have lives left and you die, you won't go all the way back to the beginning. Although, if you do get game over, then you're pretty much all the way back at the starting temple. With the exception of the very last level of the game, we're getting game over there. It will just take you back to the beginning of the final dungeon, which is actually very nice, because it is a massive walk to get there. Anyway, let's see. We should go take on a level. Although I really want one of these guys to come and hit me while I'm on the path, so I can show that while you're on this orange path here and you get touched by an enemy, nothing happens. There you go. So see, we were on the path. So absolutely no enemies or anything to deal with if you get into a battle. So that's a good thing to remember if you're like low on health and you're just trying to get somewhere. Along the way, there are towns and stuff. Each town, I'm pretty sure every single town has a magic spell for you to get. Although there's no point on getting it, on really being here now since I have them all. Although each town also has a person who will refill your hearts and magic if they are a bit low, which is useful. Because if you come across a town when you are in a bit of danger. Other things are also hidden in towns, like the downward slash and the upward slash, although not this town. I believe you get the shield magic in that town, although I already have it, so there's no point in being there. And darn it, so we got into a battle in the forest, so as you can see, the scenery kind of reflects that. Some enemies don't give experience. I guess those like the ones that just constantly respawn and they never really stop coming. And darn, I got hit, and as I'm sure everyone probably noticed, when you have full health, you shoot kind of that laser out of your sword, although it's kind of useless, because it doesn't go very far at all. So this is kind of a learning experience for me too, because I've never really played the second quest before. Until I beat the game, I had no idea that Zelda 2 even had a second quest, where everything carried over. So I'm not sure if the only cool thing about this is that your items carry over from the first quest, or if there are actually differences, like enemies are stronger, or I have no idea, because enemies are definitely not being much of a threat, considering, if you look at the top there, you see, like the numbers at the top, like Life 8, Magic 8, and then the top right it said next. So basically you get experience for defeating the enemies, and then once you get a certain amount of experience you can power up one of those things. Life 8, so basically that means like your defense. So the higher the life number is, the less damage you'll take from enemies. The higher the magic number is, the less magic you will use when using magic spells. And then there's that sword on the far left, and that determines how much damage you do to other enemies. And in just a second, we are going to find a heart container, and that will add one more block to our life, which is really cool. And man, you still attack, even when I am in the middle of doing my victory pose. How dare you? I wonder if you could actually get hurt while you're doing that. Probably not. So anyway, that is where one of the heart containers is hidden. And as I didn't really point out originally when I did it, is that there will sometimes be kind of unavoidable events on the overworld, such as this place right here. And when you walk onto certain spaces on the map, you will have to deal with these things. So like right here, we have to go across these rocks while dangerous bubbles come up from underground. It's completely crazy. And that was a very close one. In the level that we are about to go into, I will show off some of the magic, because I mean, really, why not? Who needs to save up their magic for the boss or something like that? Okay, so go into the temple. Sometimes when you hit this guy, he like drops magic. Or is it this guy? Or maybe there's like another one somewhere. I know that there's a few of those guys where when you hit them in the face, like the statues, when you hit them in the face, they drop sometimes potions, or sometimes they'll come to life. It's really bizarre what will happen sometimes. So anyway, might as well use some magic here. So if we, basically, you select whichever one you want from the pause menu here, and then when you press select, you will use that magic. So here we have shield, and you can tell that Link is super protected now by, as he changed his clothes. These clothes look like the ones he hasn't washed in like a month. I'm just fooling around way too much. Look at all those hits I got. Didn't even do anything. So yeah, basically shield only lasts for whatever screen you're on, and it goes away. So it's usually pretty good for fighting bosses, although otherwise it's not super useful. Jump magic is pretty self-explanatory. It helps you jump super high, and I love that. Kind of like you entered the moon jump cheat or something like that. And man, I'm so strong. I killed that guy in one hit. These kinds of blocks right here, you can break them, I believe. Actually, yes. In order to break them, I believe you need the glove. So I cannot do that yet, unfortunately. But otherwise, you would be able to break those later on. I wonder if in the second quest you can revisit levels, because normally, if you have found the item and beat the boss of a temple, you cannot re-enter it in the first quest. I don't know, has anyone out there actually beaten the second quest of Legend of Zelda 2? Has anyone out there actually beaten Legend of Zelda 2 once? Maybe that's a better question. But yeah, overall, I really like this game. I think that platforming Zelda works really well. Of course, a lot of people just kind of shun it. Because, I mean, ooh, it's so different than the rest of the games in the series, therefore it is the worst thing ever made. Kind of like Mario 2, once everyone realized it wasn't the real Mario 2. I guess Mario 2 makes a bit more sense, though, because, there was a real Mario 2, but the only reason it was so different was because they figured that, oh, North Americans, it'd be way too difficult for them, even though all NES games were difficult, so I really never understood the logic in that. Yeah, overall, I find it really weird that they changed everything when it came to Zelda 2. I mean, Zelda 1, super successful. Everyone loves Zelda 1. So what do you do when you have a winning formula? You change it for absolutely no reason. That made absolutely no sense to me. I mean, it's not like they need to try something new because the first one wasn't popular. It's just, I never, like, despite the fact that I do like Zelda 2, it just seems really weird to me that, I mean, you would take something that people liked and then risk making something that people wouldn't like. I mean, I wanted to kill you because you drop a ton of experience. Man, this level's a maze, and unfortunately, unlike the first Zelda game, there is no map, so I have no idea where I'm going. Unlike mini games, I have not memorized kind of the layout of this level. Let's see, so I got that key, which is kind of just laying in the middle of the floor. I guess someone dropped it. So let's see, what am I going to find right here? This isn't the boss, is it? No, this is like Hammer Brother ripoff. It's kind of funny. You can tell that this is obviously just the Hammer Brother from Mario Brothers. And man, yes, you see, this guy dropped a red magic bottle, which completely refills your magic, and I should have used this before I picked that up. Because that would have completely refilled it after using what is one of the most expensive magic spells in the game. Fairy, I'll show it in the next room just for fun. If you use Fairy, it turns you into a fairy, and you can pretty much fly anywhere you want for the entire room, which can be really useful sometimes if there's just something you want to skip over. There's also a few glitches that you can do with it too, which are pretty cool, though. In case it accidentally erases my file or something. I'm not going to be doing any crazy glitches in this video today. Let's continue on to right here. Oh man, we have a super guy, although I am so strong, this probably won't even be an issue. So sometimes, instead of getting experience, enemies will drop those power bags, or whatever the P is supposed to stand for. Points? I have no idea. And those will usually give you a whole bunch of experience, which is pretty good. Let's see up here. What have I got in this room here? We have another Hammer Brother ripoff. How many keys? 2 keys, which is pretty good. And there we go, got you. And I have no idea what's coming up. Like, the boss, maybe? Although I know there's a whole bunch of stuff I missed in this level. Here, take that. It's too easy because my power is so high and I have all the attacks I shouldn't have. Okay, so we're at the boss. So it's like the horse guy. I wonder how badly... This is one of the most hidden spells in the game. And it pretty much hits everything on the screen, although it uses 64. Darn. I just realized I don't have full magic, so I'm not going to be able to use it. Let's see. Spell. I believe it just makes things happen. I don't think it actually hurts the enemies. Reflect, I believe, makes things reflect when they hit your shield. And fire, it makes it so that whenever you use your sword, it shoots fire. So might as well use that. Why not? I believe you have to hit your head? Maybe it just doesn't affect you at all. Look at one hit, and it took off almost his entire health bar. That was actually really incredible. And after all that, we only got 50 experience points. So that is the end of the first level, although we missed the candle item in there. So we are going to have to go back and find that. So there we go. Yes, get all my magic back. So if we press start now, you will see that it shows... Oh wow, is it actually going to take me to the next level up? That's incredible. I forgot that it did that after each temple. And wow, now that I'm on the second quest. Okay, that's actually really cool that it does that. Okay, so let's see. What do we want to power up? So do we want our attack... Actually, are we at the max? Or... Yeah, so 8 might actually be the max. I thought 9 was the max. Or is 8 the max? Yeah, so 8 is the max, unfortunately. So, basically, every time I get a level now, it's completely pointless. I don't know why they wouldn't make 9 the max. So, if we look at the screen now, at the very bottom of the pause screen, you'll see now we have 5 crystals instead of 6. So this is the complete opposite of most Zelda games, where usually in a Zelda game, the point is you want to collect a whole bunch of things. In this game, you actually want to get rid of all of your things, which is really bizarre. So we have 5 more crystals to get rid of. And we can still re-enter this level because I missed the item that we were supposed to find in here. So I guess we are going to have to go and get that. But overall, yeah, I really like kind of the side-scrolling Zelda. I find it a lot of fun. And I remember I was really looking forward to getting the CDI Zelda games, and then like, man, this might actually be pretty good. Maybe people just don't like them because they don't like the side-scrolling Zelda games, and the controls suck, and a lot of things about them suck. So unfortunately, it does kind of wreck the game experience. But it is still neat that that they actually decided to go with side-scrolling Zelda games on the CDI. I remember that I think there was Zelda's Adventure, which was actually kind of a top-down thing. Did you drop anything? No, you did not. Maybe? No. Let's see, so go to the left here. I'm guessing this is where we missed the secret last time. Just kind of keep hitting you. There we go. So yeah, basically the upward slash and the downward slash are super useful. Especially for enemies like that. Whoa, and you are just going absolutely way too fast. Let's see, what else can I use here? How about we use some thunder? And I'm missing like one little bit of magic, so I cannot use it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Nothing I really want to use at the moment. Die, 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 die. There. 50, although now that we know experience is absolutely useless, there's no point on even killing any enemies at all. This bridge here is pretty evil. It will break as you walk across it. Although only the parts that you step on. And luckily... Oh no, no, no! I was gonna say, luckily that's super easy to get since we have the downward slash. Since usually in the first level, you don't have that, so you have to like kind of make a stop on the bridge, grab it with your sword, because you can't grab the items just by running into them. You have to hit them with your sword for whatever reason. So basically, it'd be a lot easier to get if you can just downward slash it, but usually you're supposed to have to stop and do that, which can be tricky on a bridge that is breaking at the seams. Let's see, do you have any stuff inside of you up here? I'm kind of curious. Do you have a potion bottle? No, I guess not. Okay, so, continuing on to the left, and man, Hammer Brother ripoff once again. Of course not an issue, because our defense is way overpowered. And then we have full magic, and I believe here is where we will find the item that we need. Yeah, enemies with a shield can be quite a pain sometimes. And here is the candle. It almost looks like you can keep going to the left for some reason. And of course that screen has to like flash and give everyone a seizure when you get an item for some reason. So there we go, that is everything that you need to find in this level. So I guess we can either go to the normal end, or we can kind of just go out the way we came in. Which is probably what I will do. And unless anything interesting happens on the way back, we will probably cut. And then, oh look, this came back, yeah! 50 experience points. Look at that, I'm only like 8,700 away from getting absolutely nothing since I'm already maxed out. It's pretty great. But anyway, like I said, I will probably cut here. And when I get out of here, we will do something else in the world of Zelda 2. Okay, so now we have beat everything in that level. It is turned into a rock, so I don't know why it has to crumble just because you found all of the items in it. I mean, I guess it crumbled, or just for some reason turned into a random rock. So now that we have the candle, all of the caves will be lit up, so we don't have to worry about not being able to see enemies and falling into random pits anymore, which is kind of nice. So we have the candle. I don't think I ever explained it. When I went into that first cave, way back up there, people have been probably wondering what on earth happened up there. I found sort of a weird item. I don't believe it does anything anymore, because I believe you're supposed to give that to someone, and then when you give it to them, they teach you a spell, although since I already know the spell, it's kind of useless. So anyway, on to where we need to go next. We kind of have all this path here, so there's not really anything interesting showing up. But yeah, basically, I think that's like a statue I found in that very first cave I ever went to. Then you bring it to this town here. I believe there's a person where when you give it to them, they teach you the jump spell, and I accidentally just pressed start there. And so basically, you need the jump spell to get through this cave here. So pretty much the order of events is supposed to be you beat the first level, get the candle, go into the dark cave, get the statue, then give the statue to the person to get the jump spell. Although it's completely easy to get the statue without actually getting the candle first. So you can pretty much skip the first dungeon, I believe. Although it makes things a lot more difficult later on, because all of these caves will then be dark. Anyway, so let's see, got you, and you, and... Oh! Power bag? Okay, good. I was afraid it was going to despawn my mouth the screen. So yeah, weaker enemies, they'll usually drop power bags or point bags, whatever they are, that give you 50 points, although the stronger enemies drop ones that give you 200, and sometimes even more, I think. This has got you. For some reason the red bat gives you 10 experience, and oh no, a ledge I cannot reach with my normal jumping ability. Whatever will I do? So yeah, basically spells, they're both needed for solving puzzles, and they're also just useful things to have that will help you beat levels. There are also times where you will find places with fairies, and getting a fairy, and man, this is like the most annoying fairy ever, will give you full health, although unfortunately it does not fill your magic. And I know that there is also an extra life, I believe, right around here. No, this is a battle, this is not an extra life. Okay, so get by you. Magic's nice, if I can get it before it disappears. And man, I'm taking a lot of damage, although because my defense is so high, I'm playing really carelessly, I have to admit. Although, if this wasn't the second quest, I'd probably have to try a lot harder. So I don't know, is that really just the only thing with the second quest? Is that you keep all your spells and you're really overpowered? I mean, it is kind of fun being completely overpowered. Okay, so where is the thing I'm looking for around here? I know that there's an extra life hidden here. But unfortunately, I cannot remember exactly where at the moment. Oh yes, this is something I should also have mentioned. On the overworld map, you have probably noticed that when enemies appear, there's usually this normal, like, circle guys. And there's also, like, big beast guys. And the big... Yeah, okay, I found it. I don't want it. The big beast guys are basically a harder battle. Usually there'll be more enemies and stuff than if you just get into a battle with the normal circle guys. So that's kind of the difference there. So here is an extra life, a link doll or whatever. So it would add 1 to our total lives at the bottom there. Wait, where did I even get that extra life back? Did I get the life back when I beat the level? As I know I died, and I was down to 1 because you get a 0, so I really had 2 lives left. Not 100% sure. So basically, once you get these, they never come back for the rest of, like, the game that you're playing. So I guess they came back in the second quest. But so say you turn the game off, you saved and quit. Even though you always start the game when you turn the game on and start playing your file again, you always start with 3 lives. The extra lives never come back. So what you want to do is you want to save these things up for when you go to the very final level. So you just have like a whole ton of lives. I think there's like 6 of them hidden in the game. So basically you can have 9 lives for the last level. So that's what you want to do. So never get those things unless you're on the very last level, because they never come back. Unless there's somewhere else where you could really, really use an extra life. But otherwise, if you're just like fooling around and trying to get experience, don't waste it, because when you turn the game off, you'll lose that extra life anyway. Let's see, so let's kill you, let's kill you. Let's go right here, and I believe I see the second level up there in the swamp. Yeah, so basically the trick with this stuff here is it makes you move really slowly, and when you get into a battle it really sucks because you can barely see the enemies and you move really, really slow. Let's see, let's get that. Continue on to the left, go up here. Oh yeah, so basically there are also fairies on the overworld map, although it's running away and I cannot get to it. Yes! And whenever you get into a battle, well, not really a battle, whenever you run into a fairy on the overworld map, you will be able to fill your health, which is good. Here is a free full magic bottle. We do not need it at the moment. And here, and man, if I can stop pressing left by accident, there's a cave up here it appears we can go into. So why don't we see what it is inside of that? I believe, actually I'm not going to say what it is. So let everyone else guess what it is. And I'm probably wrong. We'll see if my assumption is correct. These guys are a pain. You guys, like, there's so many enemies I can just see inspired by Mario enemies. Like, those right there are bouncing Koopa Troopas. Then this guy is Boomerang Brother. Actually, I forget, what came out first? This or Super Mario Bros. 3? So were Boomerang Brothers a ripoff of that guy, or was that guy a ripoff of Boomerang Brothers? I have no idea. And here, okay, that was not what I thought was in here. 200 points. I thought that it was a magic container, which would add an extra block to our magic bar at the top there, but it's apparently not. Let's get out of this cave here, and let's take on the second level. I do not remember much, like I said, about any of the levels in this game, so it'll be interesting to see exactly how I deal with the second level. Hey, another fairy! I'm not going to complain. I was missing a block of health, so why not? Is there a random... Nope, nothing in there. So yeah, basically, it's kind of neat, because there are a whole bunch of places on the overworld map where, like, secrets are hidden. And it's not always easy to know exactly where they are. So I really like that kind of walking around and just suddenly coming across a secret, although I know, especially in like today's age, people aren't so fond of just having to stumble around until you find what you need to do. And that was kind of what Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 are about. You're just kind of getting lucky sometimes and finding the levels or finding the item that you needed. So yeah, there was a red magic back there. But I really should have showed a spell and then heal after that. Anyway, so I believe this is the second palace. Anyway, here we have like the red drops from the end of Mega Man 2. This whole temple overall looks a lot more, like, mechanical than the last one. Dr. Wily probably built this place. Anyway, heading on to the left here. You guys are, like, ripped off straight from Dragon Warrior. So let's see, let's get you. These guys give no experience, I believe, because they just keep coming. And there's a locked door. Yeah, so it'd be even more overpowered if you kept all of your items at the bottom too, because eventually you do get a master key, which will allow you to open any door, even without small keys. So you'd be really, really, really overpowered if it let you keep those. Let's see, so let's continue on here. And whoa, we have a dead end. So wait, can I go down more? Oh yes, I can. I was not even paying attention to that for whatever reason. So it looks like we're gonna have to go back up to the first floor a little bit later on. You guys always remind me of the snakes from Star Tropics. I don't know why. They look kind of similar, I guess. Let's see, so let's get you. These guys, at least they stop moving when you're hitting them, so it's very easy to kind of just hold down and destroy their face. Okay, so let's see. Got you. Still cannot break any of these. Here we have another skeleton guy. Got that. So even though they're a different color, I mean, I think the ones in the last level were red, they still only give the same amount of experience. It's interesting. And here we have a key, so now we can go back up to that door on the first floor. But yeah, please, if you've played Zelda 2, let me know what you think of it. If you've ever actually made it all of the way to the end. I know at the last level, I remember for many, many, many years, the last level, I left it unbeat. It is so massive. It's probably one of the biggest mazes I've ever actually faced in a video game. It's really incredible. Just how big it actually is. So many dead ends, so many places where if you don't make the right if you don't take the right path, you're either going backwards or it sends you back, or it's just confusing. So it's definitely not a very easy final level. Yes, let's see it's going. And then the final boss to boot. I remember the final boss, the very final boss. There's actually a really easy trick to beating it, which is kind of funny. Although overall, it's still not the easiest thing. Man, why did I just botch that? Do I need to use jump maybe? Actually, I was probably supposed to use jump. Whoops! Okay, it only takes us back to here. It looks like I should be able to make that. Ugh, okay, there. I don't know how I messed that up last time. Really? Oh, okay, that was a close call. Oh yes! The worst thing about this game. You thought that the knockback in Mega Man games was bad? It is incredible how many times you will die in this game by getting hit by enemy fire. It's really ridiculous. I mean, you just get knocked back so far. Especially, and there's lots of platforming too, jumping over the holes. Okay. Alright, so now, thunder! Yeah, it's really exciting. So basically, that will damage all enemies on the screen. And ow, that guy always hits me in the face. Life will pretty much heal you, which is good. It doesn't, I don't believe it heals you all the way. I don't remember exactly how much it gives you. I believe it heals you proportional to how much magic energy you have. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it's useful in a pinch, although I don't usually use it too often. Man, it's been so long since I actually beat this game, I don't remember what all of my strategies were. I also don't know if I'm going the right way for the item or not. Let's see. I mean, this is the second level of the game, and look how complex it kind of already is. And without a map, definitely not very easy to navigate at all. So it'll be interesting to see where exactly I missed things. So what do we have in here? Hopefully the item? I have a feeling I'm probably going to find the end and have to go back and find the item. Okay, this room doesn't have a ceiling. Okay, so yeah, something like this is of course going to happen. Oh wow, I still just barely got it even though it was stuck inside the floor. Crazy. Okay, so we have this room here. We have more wily dripping stuff from the ceiling. That guy was super red, so he gave us 100 experience. And I found the item, although of course, oh, how come you can lock? Why can the enemies walk through locked doors and not me? How fair is that? Although I guess the technical explanation is that the door is a sprite, and in the NES days, sprites could usually go through other sprites, so I guess that is the excuse for that. So darn, where am I missing a key? I need a key so I can get in there. Okay, so we're just gonna have to go back and try and find one. I know that there are some paths I haven't taken, and that's kind of scary because I'm probably gonna have to backtrack all the way to certain places to get things. But we shall see. We shall see. So I think this is actually only the second Zelda game I've played for a random game of the day, which is really bizarre considering there's so many Zelda games out there I really want to play. But it's just I have so much trouble deciding what parts of which Zelda games I want to play. I guess I could just play the first little bit of Ocarina of Time. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll beat the first dungeon of Ocarina of Time and start that. People will probably enjoy that, right? Who doesn't love the beginning of Ocarina of Time? But overall, I definitely do need to play more Zelda games. The only other one I've played... Actually, no, that's a lie. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Of course, I know how to get by that. No, actually, I guess I've played three Zelda games now. It would be Faces of Evil, which I guess that's the one I wasn't really counting for the CDI, which was the first Zelda game I played. And then I played Wind Waker, which is my favorite Zelda game, and I am so excited to hear that they are remaking it for the Wii U. Of course, it's like, oh man, Nintendo, really? More remakes? But I'll give them an exception, considering Wind Waker is one of my favorite games of all time. Despite the fact that not a super massive amount of people liked it. I guess kind of like this game. Not many people really like Zelda 2, although I actually like it quite a bit. I don't know, I really, really liked Wind Waker's kind of exploring. And the sailing never really bothered me, because, I mean, it was an epic, like, massive area for you to explore. And people always say, oh, there was so much nothing, although usually there'd be, like, places for you to get off along the way. I don't know, overall, I just really like the sailing aspect of Wind Waker. And then eventually you do get, like, the teleport song, too, so sailing was not nearly as tedious, but for whatever reason, people just were not super massive fans of it, man. Do I really have to go all the way back and find the key? Ugh, oh man, something gotta drop that. So maybe I'll just fast forward this, walking all the way back to the beginning of the level. Exciting stuff. I think this looks new? Maybe? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, yeah, this is new. Hammer Brother! Although, I mean, this room, the design is really bizarre. If I had bothered to use the jump spell, I could have just bypassed all of this. Okay, so there we have a key. Is that the only key I missed? Maybe. Maybe. Wow, I'm almost about to take a death here, which is kind of crazy. So let's see. Let's go to the left, all the way back, and I guess I might as well fast forward again, getting back to where I was before. That's what I'm talking about this level, like, levels in this game, is where the path splits so frequently that sometimes you'll miss something at the very beginning, and then you'll be like, oh, I missed a key, or I missed an item, so you're going all the way back to the beginning to get that item, and it is kind of tedious at times. It's pretty crazy, but anyway. For everyone else's sake, FF! Okay, finally, we open this door and we get the Power Glove! Or the Gauntlet, or whatever it was called. The Gauntlets. The things that make you stronger and able to break things that you couldn't break with things before. So basically, we saw all those blocks I was talking about earlier. We can now break those with the sword, which is super useful. And we can also break these, which is very good. I wonder if it's actually possible to get stuck here if you don't have the glove. I have no idea, but anyway. As you probably saw, earlier, well, as I was fast forwarding, I used the life spell to give me a little bit more health. Although, yeah, it does do that annoying beeping sound when you get really low. Also, I don't believe that enemies drop health in this game. So the only way to actually get your health back is with the life spell, which is really silly, I think. Enemies really should have dropped hearts. I don't think there's any excuse for why they shouldn't have. Anyway, let's continue to the right. Is this where I got stuck before? Because I did not have... Yes, this is where we were. Let's got that, break that. There we go. And get you. I don't even really need to kill you. I'm just wasting health because I don't really need your experience at all. So you continue on to the right. You're dead. Yes, please! Full magic. I am very happy with that. So you're almost at the boss. I think. I think we're almost at the boss. And I don't think I've missed anything in this level. Okay, so which way do I want to go? I think I know it's to the right? Maybe. Let's see. Or should I have gone down? So I don't remember which way is the right way. Or is there still a key I need to find somewhere? Yeah, okay, maybe I did need to come this way to get a key. Okay, I did. Let's see, let's get you. Let's hit this thing. And there's that really annoying beeping sound that NES games just love to have when you get low on health. I guess you can kind of just look up and see. It's like, oh, I'm low on health. Although maybe it was supposed to make it more suspenseful or something. I have no idea. Okay, let's go down here. Okay, so we should be at almost the end now. Is this it right here, actually? Continue on to the right. Nope, looks like we still have a little bit more to go. More Hammer Brothers. Hammer Brothers are definitely one of the most annoying enemies in like any game. I remember even Mega Man. Mega Man 1 had its own ripoff of Hammer Brothers, which is actually really fun. Okay, so we have the breaking bridge here. Got that. To the right. I really don't want to heal. I was hoping to save some magic for the boss, although it looks like healing might be a good idea. I don't know. Actually, let's see. How many lives do I have? Okay, so even if I do die, it's not an issue. Let's see. So is this the boss right here? Maybe. Okay, so let's see. You're dead. And there's the red one. He's supposed to be super strong, even though he's pretty much just as easy as the last guy. I believe he has more health, but since we're so strong, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I think this is the boss. So I want to try something here. Actually, no, Thunder's probably not going to work. So I think Thunder takes a whole bar. I was hoping to see just how much Thunder would take off on a boss. But, you know, just for fun, we have so much health. Or sorry, not we have so much health. We have an extra life, so I'm just going to see, just for fun, if I could beat him without getting hit. Although I did not know what his attack pattern was like at all. So I have not fought this boss in many years. And wow, look at that. You are dead in 2 hits. I'm just absolutely way too overpowered. Let's see, so we got that key. I don't really understand why the boss has to drop a key. Because, I mean, it's not like you can go to the right before you fight him anyway. And there we go, second temple down. So we have actually taken care of like a third of the game. Technically, we've done 2 out of the 6 main temples, and then there's like a final 7th temple. Although in between, there's a lot of caves and dungeons and stuff that you need to go through, so we're not really a third through the game at all. There's a lot still to go, and of course, none of this really matters. But yeah, I believe that is where we are going to end off for today. I hope that everyone had fun. And darn, I really have to get into a battle, didn't I? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I hope that everyone enjoyed seeing The Legend of Zelda 2. It's a game probably too many people haven't really given too much time. Unless you played Zelda back when it was on the NES, you probably saw this game and said it looks too different and never really gave it a try. So if you haven't ever played this game, definitely do, especially if you like 2D platformers like I do. It's definitely a very fun game. It's interesting seeing Zelda mixed with a platformer, although I'll still never understand why they felt they had to deviate from the normal Zelda formula so much. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun. But I think that is where we are going to end things off for today. So, hope that everyone enjoyed that, and thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you next time for something different. So thanks, and see you then. Oh man, better not forget to press start, and then press up and A on the second player controller so I can save. That has to be the stupidest way to save ever.